Hello, I am Lacking Funds, and welcome to episode 6 of my Minecraft series. Yeah, let's call it a series. I'm not really sure what else to call it. But yeah, I am here at my cherry camp, which I made back in episode 1, and in fact, I'm going to give you a recap of everything I've done for the past 5 episodes with this introduction that we have. We are in the presence of distinguished individuals here. First of which is Sir Donkey number 1. He is still as bad as ever. He jumps slow, he runs really slowly, but you know what? Sir Horse number 1 is much better. He jumps much higher, he runs much faster, but of course, I haven't used him in a while. And they are there with their friend, Unnamed Chicken. I also have this nearby cave right here that I plan on transforming in the future, but right now it holds our super smelter. I also made these stairs for easy access to the water, and I even made this dock for my boats. And besides that, I even terraformed this place. Yeah, just so things can look prettier. And in the distance, you can see my lighthouse, which I spent quite a bit of time working on. The entrance is of course to the side. It's a cave there, where you are greeted by my dogs. I have 5 dogs, and one of them is named after my IRL dog, Coco, whom I had to rescue from the nether. The Minecraft dog, not the IRL one. And I even have something here that I plan on working on for this episode. Let's just say that it has something to do with these turtles here. Anyway, welcome to the inside of the basement of my lighthouse. Hello, bee. I have a bee farm here, I have a sheep farm, I have a lava farm, I even have this dripstone farm here, I have a sugarcane farm, and I also have an iron farm. This is my day 1 iron farm. I also have these villagers for trade, iron trades. I have my parrots, Sir Laura and Quirkus. And of course, I have the upper section of the iron farm, where I also have a chicken farm and a bamboo farm, which you should be able to catch a glimpse of in the water elevator. And this is the entrance to my lighthouse. Outside, you can see I have a bed there, and inside, there's really nothing yet. But I also have this scaffolding kind of build, where you can climb up and down this to get to the the terrain outside rather. Anyway, I was thinking about the nether because I have a nether portal here, right to the nether roof. This isn't final. I'll move it inside once I'm done with the build, but for now, it's there. Going up, we go to our collection for snow buckets, and also our villager trading hall with our villager breeder up top. This is a villager breeder, and this is the uppermost layer or like section of our build. There's no light yet at the lighthouse, so I'm planning on fixing that this episode as well. But for now, it's really dark. And moving to the next island, this is where I do my tree farming. So I have a lot of oak, I have a bit of spruce, I have a bit of birch. But for now, I've been tree farming really often here in this hole. It's my current tree farm. And then near the tree farm, I have my moss farm, which has 3 modes. Moss mode, bone meal mode, restock mode. And in the nether, I also built a few very ugly but very, very safe rooms for me. It's safe from ghasts, and this corridor leads right to the nether fortress where I made a blaze farm. And then this staircase, it leads to my cherry camp, so it connects my cherry camp and my lighthouse. But here on the other side, there is a bridge. I made this bridge while looking for soul sand, but you can also see I'm spawn proofing because I have a gold farm right on the nether roof. This is Nembon's design, and I added a piglin bartering system to it. And then to the side, you can see I have an AFK platform. Up there, it's at the height limit. And that's everything that I've made, or most of the things that I've made within 5 episodes. I probably have a few like spawner farms, but yeah, welcome. Today, I plan on making a few small projects, and I felt like I should do a recap for people who haven't watched the previous episodes. Yeah. Anyway, time to work on our first project. We already have the materials needed to make this turtle cave a reality. I am thinking of using cobblestone, stone, andesite, tuff, cobble deep slate, sandstone, and sand in making this turtle cave. And as always, I am freestyling this. After all, I am still in the process of learning how to build, and I also just want to get on with this project. I feel like having some hands-on experience would benefit me in the long run. Anyway, I only really have a vague idea on how I want this cave to look, so in a way I can go crazy here and try out a few things that I think could look cool. On a bit of a tangent, this will be short. I have been listening to I Love My Computer by Nina Geraci recently, and wow, it's really good. I really recommend it. One thing I wanted to experiment with were walls. In this case, I wanted to experiment with mixing full blocks and walls to create different textures and shapes. I think adding andesite walls to the stone ceiling looks good from afar, but it definitely looks worse up close or from below, especially right here. But I'm not too worried about looking at these from up close, so yeah, I left them. Either way, I am very happy with this turtle cave. I especially enjoy having a lot of these glowberry vines hanging down from the ceiling because I think it adds a little bit of interest. Overall, I think this very tiny project has been a major success, and I'm really satisfied with how this has turned out. Now, for our next small project this episode, we only need to look up here at our turtle cave. And as you can see, there is an upper portion to this cave that I want to finish next. I want this cave to be not entirely man-made, but more of transformed to be a useful kind of cave for the residents of the lighthouse. And you'll see what I mean by useful in a little bit, but first I want to connect the lower turtle cave and this upper cave via glowberry vines. So I'll make this hole, and I've also settled on working mainly with spruce wood as a structural element to this build. In lower, these beams were added to strengthen and stabilize these caves. And you might also notice that my palette here is kind of different. I'm making this a little bit dingy, dirty, because the concept that I have gone for is a dungeon that can house dangerous individuals in a particularly dingy portion of the cave. This is of course hidden by a front storage area with a shelf full of barrels. Speaking of shelves, I'm only now just delving into them, but I'm finding a lot of uses for them as walls, as other decorative stuff. Like for this one, it looks like it supports that kind of beam. Another new thing that I want to experiment with are these happy ghasts, because I need to bring up that pillager in the background to our prison cell for him. So yeah, I decided to finally waterlog one of my dried ghasts and get myself a happy ghast. This took quite a while, but here I am right now riding my first ever happy ghast, and as you can see, my pillager is also here with me on this ride. And yeah, it's certainly very useful. But of course, the happy ghast can't really fit into this cave, so I still have to clear out this space for our pillager to get from the entrance down to his prison cell, where he'll be staying. And this is my tour of this hopefully finalized cave. This is the front storage area. Those barrels could be full of beer or wine or whatever. But then behind that is this tight corridor leading us into this dungeon. And this dingy dungeon has one inhabitant currently. This is our pillager, not a villager, and he is actually named Nosy Neighbor. He was so nosy I had to capture him. And we're just waiting now for the glowberry vines to grow so that we can fully connect the turtle cave and the dungeon. And now, our next project is a remodel of the inside of the basement of our lighthouse, because when we first built this was still outside, and now I also have a lot more blocks to play with, like these shelves. For this renovation, I kind of want to keep the blocks and the palette and the design kind of the same, but just improved a little bit with a bit more blocks, maybe different like placements, I'm not really sure yet, but yeah, in here you can see I'm deciding on adding more, changing things, and yeah, I really like these shelves. And now I'm also playing with the lighting because I don't really want to use torches. I think torches can be really ugly, and I have a lot of lanterns, so why not use them, right? Of course, I also want to change the floor because this is going to be like an interior kind of build. I don't really want to use grass anymore. This isn't a greenhouse, so we're working with tough stone, andesite. But there isn't really much to say. I think it would be better for me to just show you what I did. So here's the tour. As you can see, it looks much better already with a little bit of like gradients at some portions. And I kept a bit of the grass because we already had grass here. And I thought it fit the vibes there. And I really think that the lighting carries this. I think the lighting adds a little bit just to show us that this is like in the basement. And of course, I'm showcasing here the cherry shelves that I use. I really like them. And going up, it isn't really much of a difference. I just changed a few things, removed the torch spam. Instead, I used the lanterns. Overall, currently, I'm very satisfied with how this remodel turned out, and I'm ready to move on to our next project, which is going to be outside. I'm going to remake my lava farm. I tore it down already from the inside, or the one that we had inside rather. So I'm going to extend this rocky area out here, and I'm going to make our lava farm here. It's gonna be much bigger with more cauldrons, and hopefully nothing burns down this time. And yeah, I'm also having a lot of fun just trying out these gradients. I'm really just learning new things with how I like my gradients. I like them when they're not like a straight kind of edge. Like some of them are blending together. Some of them aren't. You know, I don't know how to explain it. This area is, of course, for our cauldrons, for our lava farm. So I made the cauldrons already, and yeah, I am hopeful that this won't really burn down my build inside because I know that lava can like set air on fire whenever there are flammable things, and there are flammable things inside this lighthouse, inside the foundation of the lighthouse. So hopefully that's out of reach, and hopefully this like cover can protect me from the fire because yes, I do have fire tick on or whatever the game rule is called. So yeah, fingers crossed. And here is how it looks. I'm just placing down the chest right here where we will be collecting more lava in the future. And yeah, this is really just a small project, perfect for our concept for this episode, which is mainly just making small projects. Oh, and I tore down the lava farm inside just to make room for this. I wanted to expand our bamboo collection system, this storage system that we have. So we have more chests and it's much more organized. And we have another chest for miscellaneous bamboo items. So it's not connected to the hoppers, but yeah. Now, I forgot to record this part, but yeah, I impulsively decided to make a cactus farm right here. I don't even know if I'm going to use cactus or green dye, but whatever, it's here. And yeah, that happened. RIP to Melty the snow golem, but yeah, I'm thinking of making another farm here on top of the cactus farm, just to maximize the space because we have all of this space. Of course, while I'm building my platform up top, I'm also getting cactus from the already built cactus farm. I started only with one and now I have three, so yeah. And I decided to make a pumpkin and melon farm. This, of course, isn't really efficient or anything that's like useful until the end, but I'm planning on building a better one in the future, simply because I think I'm going to use a lot of pumpkins. And here is what it looks like currently. Yeah, I think I will definitely build a bigger one and a better one in the future because I plan on building with copper golems and snow golems and iron golems. I don't really know what else I'll make with this, but yeah, I'm excited to work with the copper golems, at least in the future. So I decided to make this pumpkin farm. Of course, this is much faster with melons, so they're there as well. And here we have our new snow golem, Melty the Second. Here is our cactus farm. It now has 4 cacti. Yeah, it's called cacti. That's funny that I remember that. And then here is our pumpkin and melon farm. I swear it works, okay? Anyway, with our episode's concept of small projects, this definitely fits in and actually adds a ton of value to our base because while we're here AFKing or building, we're getting items. Alright, back to building. One of my planned projects for this episode, well, I say planned, but it's more like I thought of it and decided, oh, I should do that. So, one of the things or projects that I wanted to do this episode is finally finish this scaffolding because I'm not really satisfied with how this looks so far. So yes, I'm going in and adding a lot more texture with spruce trapdoors, shelves, things like that because I think this really has the potential to look much better. I'm also using these signs just to break up like the blockiness of the scaffolding that we have, and also these hanging signs, which my first time using these. And of course, the interior also matters because this is supposed to be like, something that receives foot traffic. I really expect this, or like expected at the very least, expected this to have a lot more like interactions with me up close instead of from afar. Like all I see from afar is like the outside. That's why it's very, very textured. But from inside or from the inside, it's gonna look unfinished if I don't have these items here. So I decided to finish that this episode as well. And here is what it looks like. From afar, it definitely looks even more textured. I'm not sure I like the ladders, but I really like the addition of the darker blocks. And from the inside, when you go up the stairs or the ladders rather, it now feels like it is inhabited. It feels a little bit cramped, which makes a lot of sense for a scaffolding kind of build because, there are a lot of items that need to be brought up to the lighthouse. So yeah, I think this was a success. I really like how this turned out. I really like all of these different blocks that I had. I had these grindstones, so I had to use them. And then the barrels and these chiseled bookshelves, I think that's what they're called. They look really cool. And of course, finally, I plan on adding the light in our lighthouse because it can't be a lighthouse without the central thing that makes it a lighthouse, the light. It's only a tower without the light. So I'm planning on making this with gold because gold is like yellow, it's bright, and I plan on lighting it up with these, what are they called? Redstone lamps. Yeah, I still have no idea how this will look, but I know that this will use up a lot of gold. So, yeah, that's why I built the gold farm that I had. And this is how much gold we're going to use. I'm pretty sure I'll run out of gold with this amount. I think we're gonna need more. But, yeah, we don't have to worry about gold. We're just going to worry about building this. And one thing I noticed is that we're viewing this primarily from below, so the gold or like the light source part of the lighthouse should really be built like closer to the roof, like way up here. And I'm not really sure if we can see this like area from below anymore, but either way, I'm just going to add these gold blocks right here just in case we can see it from below. And of course, I'm going to shape this. It's not really going to look like a cylinder or, yeah, a cylinder. It's supposed to be a sphere, but because of the way I built this, it's not really symmetrical. It's not going to look like a perfect sphere either. Oh, and also I need to add the lighting there to make it pop. And yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm not really sure that it looks that bright, I'm surprised, kind of. I mean, it's definitely lit up compared to the surroundings. That's what That's really what matters here because we can't really force ultra brightness in Minecraft. There's a limit to how bright an object can be. But yeah, I'm thinking, do I need to replace the yellowish gold with something that's whiter? Maybe quartz? Just to force like the illusion of like being super bright? Or maybe do I need to add like glass surrounding it? I'm not sure. Either way, hopefully I'll be able to find a way to make this look super super bright. Sadly, that's all the time I have for this episode. A bunch of things that didn't make the episode because I felt like, I didn't have to record it. Like, I did a bit of mining, I did a bit of like retexturing this rocky formation, in case you noticed. I removed all the cobblestone, all the gravel, and then I did a bit more tuff. And then there was also all the AFKing at my base. Just literal AFKing, leaving Minecraft running in the background. Apart from that, I really, really, really like everything that we've done this episode. I think the Happy Ghast is a really, really useful mob. And yeah, I am so happy with how things have turned out. I don't really know what else to say except thank you. If people are watching, like, thank you so much. I know most people who are watching are new. They haven't seen the previous episodes. That's why I did the recap. And like, honestly, if I do say so myself, the previous episodes are not really worth watching. Honestly. I feel like I've improved so much with the past few weeks, and yeah, this has been so much fun. In the first place, that was why I did all of this. I wanted to just have fun, and that's the most important thing to me, having fun while doing all of this. And making these videos has been really kind of encouraging or motivating because I feel like I'm working towards a goal or like something. I'm working towards something, and that something is usually the weekly videos that I put out. But yeah, I am just really thankful. So thank you and goodbye. Or yeah, maybe more deadpan like my usual tone. Goodbye.